news media had a melt their face off moment when I stood in front of 1,200 people in our church and I said, and I quote, "Do not take the vaccine." They went nuts. You say, "Well, pastors ain't supposed to say that stuff." What am I supposed to say? Put rat poison and fertilizer in your body and see how it goes? God bless you in Jesus' name. Look, if you're looking for Joel Osteen, hire him next year, but you didn't hire him this year, you hire Greg Locke. Now, Greg Locke's going to say what needs to be said. Sometimes I say stuff like that, kind of like Jesus did, just to see who's still with me and who's not. Praise God. I figure it out real quick when I say stuff like that. I'm just saying. I'm in this thing for the long haul. I'm trying to save this nation for my kids and their kids. And yes, I have 6 kids. They're psychotically crazy. But at the end of the day, I'm trying to save and rescue what we have left of this beautiful nation for them. If you can't fight for them, who can you fight for? We're losing the ground game. People staying up all night on Telegram till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh my goodness, what are we going to do? Look, I get it. Stop getting discouraged because you keep running down rabbit holes. Okay, I'm not looking, like our brother said, I'm not looking for somebody else to show up and save America. I'm looking for Jesus to show out and save America. Revival is baked into the soil of this nation. The first Great Awakening, the second Great Awakening. I don't believe we're going to have a third Great Awakening. I believe we're going to have the greatest awakening we've ever seen in the history of the world. I am convinced of that. God said in the last days, saith God, I'll pour out my spirit upon all flesh. And we're in those days, and God is pouring out his spirit, and he is using the political arena to get the gospel to people that would have never heard it. People ask me all the time, what do you do when you go to these big political rallies? What do you talk about? Jesus. The church. He's still the hope of the world. I love Trump, but Trump's not the hope of America. Jesus is the hope of America, you understand? Jesus is the hope of America. Now, here's the interesting thing. As I meet people like yourselves, some of you I know and some of you I don't. But as I meet people, and I do tiny events, medium-sized events, and massive, huge, biggest gatherings in America events. And here's what I'm finding. The ripest harvest field on the planet right now are the MAGA supporters. It's the truth. The people that are ripest for the gospel are the people that already have so much truth. They're that far from knowing who Jesus really is. And I'm watching in meetings like this, people get born again. I'm baptizing people all over the country. People are coming to our church. We have 25 states every Sunday morning at least that visit our tent just for one service. We have over 500 first-time visitors every week, every Sunday, and it's been that way for 18 months. 500 first-time visitors. And some of these people stay and move and come back. 500 first time every single week. You know why? Because they're finally figuring out there are some people out there that are saying it. There's just not enough of us. I'm going to give you this and I'm going to be done. I'm never through. I'm just done. Just quit. Right? Pastors do. We're never finished. I know we try to quit by 12 o'clock so you can beat the Methodists at the Chinese buffet. But nonetheless, I'm just going to quit. But I want to say this. If I were to sit down, and I have, if I were to sit down with you though, and ask you, could you write down the name of 20 pastors in America with any decent-sized platform at all that are saying the things that need to be said? You would not be able to give me 20 names on this. You would not be able to give me 20 names on this. It's sad. I get letters every day. Pastor Locke, we love what you say, and we would say it too, but our deacons would fire us. I'll tell you something, there's a price to be paid. Serving Jesus and saving a nation will not cost you something. It'll cost you everything. And therein lies the problem, because everybody wants cheap freedom. Freedom ain't cheap. Everybody wants free gospel. Gospel ain't cheap. Cost heaven its best. Men and women that have gone before us laid down their lives for this nation that we're willingly given over to people that have already lost the game. Amen. Shame on us. You'll hear a lot of good speaking. We're about to have some good eating. I'm going to stick around as long as I can. I'll be back there. I don't have my This Means War. It's sold out, but I got our newest book, Weapons of Our Warfare, and I'm not here to sell books. I'll give them all away. I don't care. But I want to meet some of you, because I like to shake the hands of the people that have boots on the ground. that are doing something for this nation. We look at this, we say, oh, there's not 10,000 people. Doesn't matter. You can turn things around at school. You can turn things around in the county. You can turn things around on a radio show, on a podcast. You can grab a camera, throw it in your face on an iPhone and say, hey, Facebook, boom, and go with it. That's what happened to us. And here we are, all in this room together. Warriors. You ever notice that hyenas have the most evil, sinister laugh on the planet? You ever seen them little scroungy looking, mealy mouth rat looking things? It's like a Kamala Harris video played over and over and over again, right? But you know what's interesting about hyenas? You can get 20, 30, 50 of them. Guess what it takes? One lion showing up to silence all them bunch of cackling, wormy rat cats. One lion. It's time the lions stand up and roar. It's time we quit letting them cackle us into a corner and bully us into silence and say, no more. Absolutely no more. And it's time for lions to stand up. So as a pastor, I'm making you a promise. I'm done trying to go around the country waking up sleepy sheep. I'm going around the country trying to wake up the other lions. Because it is time to roar. It is time to push back. It is time to pray, to preach, to prophesy, to fast. It is time to